devil ease up. I see him trying to creep up. I speak the Holy Ghost fire. Make the demons freeze up. He died on the cross, so essentially freed us. And from the dust like Lazarus, I'm about to rise up. While we walking through life, we gotta pay attention to the signs, the tricks and the traps of the devil. Yeah, we gotta keep in mind, he knows our sickness. He used them against him with the quickness. The flesh is deceitful. We gotta start acting more like God's people. Who will be the remnant? Me. The gospel, who will defend it? Me. There's only one true and living God, Jesus Christ. And all the rest is a fraud. Don't get tripped up. Yeah, he's waiting on you to slip up. You gotta stay focused. Keep your eyes open, check everyone's motives. Tell the devil ease up. I see him trying to creep up.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
So, we know it's been a long time.
Just a little bit.
And
but life has been going on.
It has been. It's been popping off. And honestly, we've been trying to shoot this video for like 4 days. But then I was working, then I wasn't working. Then we got sick. Then it was just a whole big mess. So, today we're going to tell you how much we feel it costs to live in Colorado. Hard figures.
Yeah.
These are our numbers.
Yeah.
So, what we have essentially done is we've taken the consistent amounts that we've spent each month on different things, and we multiplied those by 12 so we can get a figure
for the year.
So, what is not included in this is like our car note, our car insurance, because it's gonna be different for each person.
Pretty much, right?
We're not including anything that we feel like is not something that if it's something that we feel like not everybody can have. So when we give you these figures, you will need to take account all of your excess bills, any debt that you have. If you have a car note, how much your car insurance is. If you have any reoccurring bills, you need to tally those up and add it to these. And by tally those up, I mean you need to take what they are per month and multiply them by 12, and then add them to this formula. Mm-hmm. So the categories that we have this separated out in is rent, groceries, gas is like just the gas it costs us in our car. Mm-hmm. Then we have our propane bill because that is our only like quote unquote utility. And then toiletries, which is your toilet papers, your sanitary things, soaps,
all kinds of stuff.
all kinds of shampoos. Basically we call it the Walmart trip. Whatever you do when you go to Walmart now, it's things in there that aren't at Walmart, but they're mostly things for like hygiene and how to take care of yourself. Then we have a winter gear category. That's gonna be universal for everybody, based off of the fact that if you're coming from another place where it's not cold and you don't have like winter tires and things like that, this gonna hit you hard. You're not gonna expect this. There's something that we did account for, but still, like, you gotta make sure that you consider that. Our car maintenance, we have like our oil changes and things like that in here. Any like maybe parts. What part did you have to replace? You did something to the train.
I can't remember. Radiator hose? Something with the coolant. Something for the coolant, though. So
that's all included in here. And then life and entertainment is you didn't multiply that by 12.
I didn't.
Life and entertainment is like if we went and ate out, if we saw anything, we went to a museum, all of that is included in here. And our savings is what we are supposed to be saving, per month. We added this because you cannot come here and not have a savings. It's just not an option.
Way too expensive.
So basically, at the end, we'll tell you how much we feel like for a family of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 it costs to live here. And then we'll also do some other explaining. So just, you guys never mind the sniffles because we just like sniffling.
Yeah.
So why this video is in our bed.
So before we get into this video, man, if you guys want to see more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, man. Turn on that notification bell to become a part of Notification Gang. You know, that way, whenever we upload something, you guys can be notified right away. And also, what else?
Follow us.
Yeah, follow us.
On
I forgot.
Instagram.
Instagram, we are the Steemer Step Out. Facebook is the Steemer Step Out. And yeah, that's it.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I haven't been updating our Facebook with all like our vegan recipes and stuff. Or any pictures.
So we need to update. But those are all
but
our
the
social
best
media handles.
To get a hold of us, we do try our best to answer YouTube, but we will always answer social media.
All the time. So if you guys got questions, please hit us up and let us know. Right. So let's get right into it.
Oh, and if you want to send your love tokens, you can send them to money sign TSSO for
Cash
App, and for PayPal
it's
the Steemer Step Out. All right. So, for rent, now, keep in mind that we live an unconventional lifestyle. We want to make that very clear. So, our rent is going to be different from your rent. So, our rent for the year will be $20,000 because it's $1,800 for the summer rate and $1,400 for the winter rate. So for 6 months we pay $1,800, and for another 6 months we pay $1,400. Now, lots of people might be like, "Oh my God," especially people who live the same lifestyle may be like, "Oh my God, that's so expensive." Well, here in Colorado, a family of 6, you could be paying like $3,000 or more. $3,000 is easy for a place where you can actually like fit and be comfortable. So we live tiny, and a lot of people may think like, well, why can't I just get like a 2-bedroom apartment? Because here in Colorado, they have laws that say there can only be a certain amount of people in the apartment per bedroom. And I want to mention something else. It is pretty impossible to find a 3-bedroom apartment in Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, it's very hard. I think we've only seen one so far.
Yeah.
One, right? One or two.
It's been a couple, but they've all been either booked up or they just...
It's been 2.
It's been maybe 2, but yeah, it's very hard. Very limited.
Keep in mind that, we do pay this amount, but our utilities are included. So, say you have a family of 6 and you have to live in an apartment, okay? Hypothetically, if you could get an apartment, you're going to pay more than what we are paying plus the utilities. So keep that in mind. Then if you can't find a 3-bedroom apartment, then now you have to rent a house, and now we talking a whole nother level of whatever. Now, one thing I want you to consider is like, before we came here, I was looking at Zillow and stuff, and I felt like, oh, well, we can just go live in the hood for not that much.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. So keep that in mind. Our groceries, we pay $8,400 a year for groceries. That's about $700 a month. We spend about $700 a month in groceries.
Right.
Groceries are expensive here, but I also want you to keep in mind that we eat healthy. We don't just eat like ramen noodles, and like we haven't eaten ramen in years.
Yeah.
We don't eat like ramen. Like, I think probably the most quote unquote like snacky thing that we eat is like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the kids, almond butter and jelly sandwich for me. Like we don't eat bad things. So and we're very frugal people. So this is keeping into consideration that we would fall in probably that moderate thing when it comes to like what our groceries are. But we shop at like Trader Joe. We be really like ride or die finding the best price.
Yeah.
Like, we go to Whole Foods for the things that we can only get from Whole Foods, but that's all we get from Whole Foods. Then we go to Trader Joe's for all of our produce and everything because it's really cheap, and we get our shampoo from there.
Right.
And then we go to Walmart last because we get like our non-dairy milks and stuff like that. They got the best prices for that. Any meat substitutes that we use that aren't like Beyond or whatever, we get that from Walmart. So we go to, like, grocery shopping is like a whole thing for us because we take our time and we go to all the places we can get the best prices at because that's just what works for us. Keeping in mind, since we eat mostly like fruits and vegetables and fresh things, we probably go to the grocery store like twice a week because we got to get more vegetables or whatever. We don't have as much space. So 8,400, I feel like that definitely took a big like jump because we would spend $300 in groceries in Texas a month, and I could do that easy, 150
like easy.
for 2 weeks.
Right.
So whatever 3 times 12 is what we was. So 4,800, 36.
Yeah.
3,600 to 8,400. Like, guys, that's a huge
jump.
difference.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Gas. I'm gonna let hubby talk about gas and propane because these are his departments. Like, he fills my gas tank for me. He like, I just get in the car and when the gas light comes on, I'm like, what went wrong?
Yeah. So for
And
gas we're at $39.60 for the year, so $3,960. That's for 2 vehicles, and that is about. I think I broke it down to about
a tank and a half a week.
A tank and a half a week, which came out to about like $450 between us two. Now, of course, I have a bigger truck, so it's gonna cost me a lot more, and we also have a smaller compact vehicle that is newer that it of course costs less. So I really don't go anywhere throughout the day though. The kids' school is not too far. Everything like where we are is in the vicinity, closeness. So. I've over exaggerated a little bit. I usually can last off a tank of gas for a full 2 weeks, a full tank, and I usually don't have to, when I fill up, it's usually not a full. I use $70 for my tank. It's usually not the full $70. I might have to put like another 50 in or something like that. And then for my wife, she uses a true tank and a half only because she goes out and commutes to work back and forth. So that's between both of us, 2 vehicles. One's a V8, one's a V4, V6 or something like that. So it's a lot different.
Also considering that your truck is our family car,
right?
whenever
So
we're like all
right.
together.
So another thing too, yeah. So we take the truck together whenever the family's off, and a Saturday, Sunday, something like that. Then of course we'll all fit in the
grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping. I mean, we do a lot of things. So. That's I don't feel like that's too bad. And then for propane, it's just $300 a year. Now I found a gym in Colorado. I go to a place where it's $20 for both of my tanks to be completely full. I have 2 of the 30-pound tanks, and I don't know how much it comes out to per gallon, but it's a propane place. I found a hidden gem. It is kind of a ways out, but trust me, I travel every time we need to go get propane.
It's worth it.
So
my
neighbor next door,
each.
So my neighbor next door has the same tanks we have. He has a 5th wheel, but he has a smaller 5th wheel. And I was chatting with him one day, and I asked him how much does it take. He said he takes his to U-Haul, and he pays about $40 a tank to fill up.
But he's switching them out, or he filling them?
No, he's just filling them up, like refilling. So I'm just like, no way. And there was no way in that I was gonna be paying pretty much $80 for the 30-pound tanks, which is not a huge tank. We have one of the small. If you are RVing, like the 30-pound tank is one of the smaller ones. Now they do come large. I've seen 5th wheels where people will have them sitting outside, and they're like the long ones. But I feel like for $20 for 2 tanks, that's $10 a tank. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
So.
And then also keeping like $300 a year, I feel like is good because we mostly cook all of our meals.
Yeah, and those tanks I did forget to mention. I only fill up once a month too, so that's really good. I don't go every 2 weeks. I don't spend $20 every 2 weeks or anything like that. Like I usually go every 3 weeks. I wouldn't say a full month. I would say once every like 3 weeks, but I stretch it out to a month because there is months where I go a full month without having to fill up again. So. Which is really good.
Toiletries, you could talk about that one too.
So Toiletries, we are at $1,440 a year, so $1,440, and those are shampoos. Those are like our soaps, toilet paper, toothpaste, washing powder, just those things that you need, and I would say essentials for everyday life that are non-food. And for us, like I said, we have a family of 6, all girls, so we run through quite a bit of shampoo. We use a lot of soap for bathing. We use a lot of toothpaste, things like that. So it's different for every family. Toilet paper for sure is another one that we use a lot. So I mean, it's gonna vary by family, but
also keep in mind that we don't use anything that's not healthy for us. So like our soap is plant based.
Right.
We have a
more expensive toothpaste, more expensive body wash, more expensive soap from Trader Joe's. I mean, shampoo for hair. So a lot of the things too, we aren't just buying like the generic brand. We aren't just buying like the off-brand or whatever it is. Like
our health is important.
Our health is important, so we've done a lot of the plant-based things or just totally healthy. Of course, those are gonna cost you a little bit more money, but so our bill and somebody else's bill at Walmart or wherever they go to shop for the toiletries is definitely gonna look different. You know what I mean? But I still feel like $14.40 for the year is not high. It's not like we shop, every 2 weeks or anything like that. It's just that we have a bigger family, so we need the larger version of things. So that's another thing. We need a usually larger version of things, and we need more of those. And we have more people to use those things. So I would say we shop frequent, but not super like every week or something like that. Crazy.
I don't feel like we go to the Walmart every week. We definitely go to the grocery store every week.
Yeah. That's probably one big thing. And then we have winter gear. So that's one of the things you definitely gonna have to consider when you move out here. Winter gear can fall under like
snow
tires. You're gonna need boots, snow boots, and gloves, and hats, and scarves, and facial mask things, sweaters, jackets, all of those things. Yeah, heaters. If when you move here, it's a change of a lifestyle. You know what I mean? So that's at $15.60 for the year. And some of those are one-time things. Like, of course, you're gonna probably get tires maybe once. A coat, if you get a pretty much big enough coat, that's probably one time. So it's not too bad because it's just a one-time thing. It's not like an occurrence thing. I would say most of those are one time. You buy a heater once, you're gonna buy tires once for the year. Tires should last a good year, you know what I mean, out here. Just a lot of those things, but it is something that you're going to need once you move.
And I do want to mention that I feel like we won in this category because we are super frugal
and super shoppers,
right?
So
because we like to be healthy and be able to spend more money on things like food and stuff like that. We real frugal in other places. So like I went to Once Upon a Child. We got coats for like everybody got a good winter coat for less than $10.
There's Burlingtons.
Yeah, Burlingtons.
Or where I got boots for on sale.
$30.
$30 compared to $80, $90 name brand.
My boots are like $20.
Yeah.
All the kids' boots are like Christian's boots were like $8, like $7.50, basically brand new. We just came up on the gym. Then Eden, her snow boots were like $14, but they were like a super name brand. Goddess, hers were like $12. Sundays were like $8 from Once Upon a Child. No, Goddess was $19.99. So we were really frugal with all the coats were like less than $10 and everything. And then with the tires, we did do the thing where if a tire pops, we only pay $40 to get the tire replaced from Discount Tires. And then like the heaters, we bought like the fireplace like heater. If you follow us on YouTube, then you will see that. But like that was like $110.
Right.
But I might say that helped us with the propane because we didn't like the ideal of our furnace always running because propane over a long period of time is just not good for intake. So we bought electric heaters because we don't pay an electric bill because it's included in our lot rent.
Right.
Which has helped us save on propane. We only bought it one time, but you got to constantly fill propane, and so we felt that it was safer too. Made the house look cuter. Yeah. Then we have some little small heaters that we have, one in our room, one in the living room, one in the area where the kids sleep too. So that we're really frugal about a lot of things in this category. I think that if you're not a frugal person, this category looks more like $2,000 to $2,500 because a for real coat could be like $100.
Oh yeah.
My coat, I bought it at the time I was working at Sierra, which is a sporting goods place. I bought my coat for $30, but I had a discount.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. Like, we are really frugal, and we like the type of people that if we see something that we like, before we go to the store, we like, this is how much we paying for this item. And we are not buying something that's more than that item.
Right.
Period. It could be $3. We're not doing it. Because after you get done going over $3 for 6 people, you spend $18. That could have been almost a tank of propane. So we're frugal like that. So this looks a lot different from us than what it would look for other people. Because we penny pinch in some areas so that we can splurge in others.
Right. So next thing is our car maintenance, or next bill for the year is our car maintenance, which is about
$150 a month.
It's $150 a month, and then you times that by 12.
Give or take though, because I feel like woman,
which is, let me see.
I don't know if it's really $150 a month.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So, but that covers oil changes. That covers anything that you might need, parts or whatever like that. So it's $1,800 for the year. But you give and take. I mean, I spent $50 for my oil change, $50 for her oil change.
What's also in that is I would say $1,800 for the month.
$1,800 for the year.
For the year, I would say that didn't you that part that you bought?
I bought a part, so yeah, but it was only like $12, and I did the labor myself. So,
and we have an older truck.
Yeah,
too.
so
how many years is it?
It's a 04, so
yeah,
there's gonna be quite a little bit more maintenance on that.
Yeah, so that might
Things
not
like
be.
So $1,800 for the year in car maintenance, and that's both of our cars. Like I said, she has a newer one, so the most things with her is, or with her car,
a tire. We bought a tire.
Tires. Yeah, we did buy a tire, and her oil changes, which are scheduled regularly that we go to. Mine's is more if I'm doing more like actual parts and things like that, and of course oil changes for sure. But so that is one.
So life and entertainment. What we have in life and entertainment is like if we eat out.
Yeah.
If we went to Cherry Creek National or State Park. It costs us $10 to get in there. That even so much as like if we go somewhere that's further and we don't take that out of our gas budget. We take that out of life and entertainment budget. Like if we go somewhere that's far to do something as a family, that gas or whatever we do for that day is gonna come out of this category.
Yeah.
So that's $1,200 for the year, because we will look for the freest of the freest things. We don't eat out a lot
at all,
and especially since we stopped eating meat, we really don't eat out a lot.
Yeah.
Because we cook inside. Because you gotta think about it, like a family of 6.
That can get expensive at a restaurant.
So a family of 6, I mean, like we don't eat McDonald's, but if we all went to McDonald's and everybody got 3 items off the dollar menu, that's still like a lot. $20. That's
$20.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
which
even
is not too bad, but if you are a frequent out, like we don't eat, like if you go out a lot, like if that's one of your things that you do, then a family of 6, like, because it's really. Like I said, even the fast food is expensive. So if that is a thing that you guys do, then you might want to make sure you budget for
that.
You know what I mean?
We don't do that.
But we don't. We like to cook in a lot. One, because we have such a huge family. Not saying that we don't ever have times where we do go out and eat, but it's maybe it's maybe twice a month. I would say maybe for sure at a minimum once a month, and that might be just one big trip or something.
Yeah. So. We don't do that. For he said, we like to because our family's big, and also because if you cook the food, you know what's in it.
Exactly.
So that's another thing too. Savings. We save at a minimum $200 a month. At a minimum. If we can save more, we will.
Yeah.
Do not, I repeat, do not write a budget without a savings.
Right.
Don't do it.
You're gonna need one, especially living in a more expensive place. If you're traveling or moving somewhere, you relocating somewhere where the cost of living is significantly higher, definitely have a savings.
And not only that, I think our biggest thing has been like the weather change here, especially if you come in here with children, even by yourself. If you're not used to this climate, your body's gonna go through some changes. So a lot of what we've used our money on has been like stuff that we never thought of, like our savings money. Like one of the things we use our savings money on is when we lost our keys. Like nobody ever thinks about what's gonna happen if I lose my keys. Well, that key cost us $75. If we didn't have a savings, like $75 is a lot.
Yeah.
You can't write a budget where you live in paycheck to paycheck and just be like, okay, as long as nothing happens, because something is going to happen. Like period. Christian got sick and had to go to the emergency room. Teammates, do not write a budget based off like, oh, we're just gonna do paycheck to paycheck, and as long as that don't happen, it's gonna be fine. Something's gonna happen, like period. So, like I said before, a lot of what we used it for is we locked our keys in the car. Christian had an asthma attack. She went to the emergency room. We used that for co-payment for medicine. So, like, you just need to have, you know, some things in order. So, with all of that being said, those are all the categories that we have our things broken into. I'm sorry, our phone bill. Our phone bill is $1,200 a month, and our internet bill is $900 a month. For our phone bill,
no, $1,200 a year.
I mean $1,200 a year. I'm sorry,
$900
a year. So for our phone bill, we have 3 phones for $100 a month. Me, Trey, and Goddess have a phone. I recommend your oldest child having a phone.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have family here.
Right.
There has been times where she needed to call us, and we have looked at each other and said, I'm so glad she has a phone.
Yeah.
I do not recommend coming here without your oldest, especially if there's an only child. They really need to have a phone. And again, we're frugal. We got Metro? We got Metro, and I'm not ashamed to say it. A couple of years ago when we decided we wanted to be debt free, we decided that at a time we were not in a good financial place, and we looked at each other and we said we have made some poor financial decisions, and we don't want to do that anymore. And we decided that every time we fall on hard times, the first thing that goes off is our phone. And so why have a contract, and while you're struggling, you're also ruining your credit over a phone? So, you know, we got to the point where we was like, is it really that important to have the newest iPhone? It's really not. And that's not something that all of us care about. What we care about is being able to call or text each other and make sure that we're all okay. Which is why we had Boost at first and decided that we didn't want Boost anymore. Because in Texas, Sprint isn't great. So that's another place that we're frugal. I know some people who have Verizon who pay like $200 a month in a bill.
Right.
I recommend, if you're going to make a huge leap like this and you're not like moving to a job and having like, you have already a good set, you know, foundation where you're like, oh, my company's relocating me, and you know, Bob, it's a company I've been with for years and blah blah blah. I recommend you going through your bills and seeing what you can kind of chop down. Our internet is important. We have school, we have our YouTube show, we have a lot of different social media things that we're trying to get fluent with our YouTube show. Our daughter is trying to start an online boutique. So, you know, we pay about $83 in internet. We have Xfinity.
Great.
And back home we had the same thing, but it was through Boost, Xfinity through Boost, and or Boost through Xfinity or whatever, and it was $50. And so we trusted that internet connection, so we decided that we would go with them. And here they didn't have Boost through Xfinity, so we had to go with actual Xfinity. Now, outside of those things, we do have a storage back home that results in $480. Basically, what those things are, like, really just nice clothes that we, whenever we decide we want to settle somewhere, we want those things. Our car note results in basically $6,000 a year, and our car insurance, it results in $900. We didn't add these things into the budget because we felt like they could fluctuate based on yourself. So, with that being said, all of our expenses equal out to about $47,582, not including the car note, all those things that I just told you about. So we feel like what you need to do is consider all of these expenses we told you and add in what your recurring expenses are. So we feel like take home, a family of 6 needs $47,582. Take home, not including the car note that we talked about, the whatever additional expenses
that's the bare
you have.
minimum you have to bring home.
That's the bare minimum you have to bring home. Why am I enforcing take home? Because you have a 10% federal tax. Once it's all said and done, about 10% comes out. And then Colorado has an additional 4.63% tax. Don't compensate for that tax if you want to.
Yeah.
You gonna feel that state tax.
You are.
You really are, because it's more than what you think it is. Because what we did before we came here, we was like, okay, we looked at my current paycheck and we were like, all right, let's take away 4.63, and it was like
$60 or something.
It was
like
like
that.
60,
Something
maybe
crazy.
$70. I don't know.
And
And we were like, oh, that ain't bad.
Well, when we filed taxes and realized, and that short amount of time, which was basically from August until you filed taxes, was in January, because that's when we moved out here. It was in August. It was a good number. It was what, $800?
It was like $800.
And I was like, Jesus.
And my people's like, oh, $800 a lot. Well, we just told you that we pay $700 a month in groceries. So if you look at it in the difference of our kids eating for a whole month versus paying state taxes, or if you look at that would have been a year worth of propane plus an additional $400, or you look at $800 life and entertainment. That's life and entertainment plus another $400. You know what I mean? Like, that could go far. That's our storage. Yeah. We could pay our car insurance for a whole year if we add another $100.
That's a lot of things.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
That's what we paid from August to, well, actually July, because when I was in training.
Right. So July to January,
December. December, right?
End of the year.
So that's 6 months. So you got to consider that's $1,600 for the month.
Yeah, man.
That's banana. For the year. Lot. That's bananas. So, based on that, we feel like a family of 2 needs to bring home $35,000 at a minimum, $45,000 to be comfortable.
Right.
A family of 3 needs to bring home $45,000 at a minimum, $55,000 to be comfortable. A family of 4, 55 to 65. A family of 5, 65 to 75. And a family of 6, 75 to 90.
Yeah.
This is what you need to... These are the funds I feel like you need to have without considering the take home. Like, if somebody offers you $45,000 a year and it's just 2 of you, I think you're gonna be good. Now, that's not considering if it's you and just your kid and you got to pay daycare and all of that stuff. Right. So you need to consider that. But it's like a couple, y'all will be fine, because 2 people can work. Each of y'all make $22,000 a year. Y'all be fine. But I feel like with taxes, if you have a family of whatever, I just named here, with taxes not compensated for, these are the amounts that you need to make.
Exactly.
A family of 6, I do feel like, can make it. If you're living an unconventional lifestyle, you can go up a bracket. So, for instance, if you're a family of 6 living the same lifestyle as us, I feel like you can make it off 65 to 75. Or a family of 4 living the same lifestyle as us, 55 to 65. 45 to 55. You can go up a bracket. But I feel like with you not living an unconventional lifestyle, and if you have to go get an apartment or live in a house or get a mortgage or something like that, you're going to need more money than what we have. Most so definitely. That's what these figures are. A family of 2, 45. Family of 3, 55. Family of 4, 65. 5, 75, and 6, 90. Now, you can do it off less than that, because like I said, the brackets before, and I'm pretty sure he'll edit this and pop it in there for you. But for real, I'm saying all of this. We're saying all of this to say this. Don't come out here thinking you just gonna make it with your income tax. You're not.
It's definitely not gonna happen. Like, you guys need to make sure you plan, and not even just Colorado. I'm saying just places where there are relatively high cost of living. Even if you're coming from another place, you still just need to plan. But specific to Colorado, most definitely need to have a savings plan. You need to have some type of, plan, period. That's the other way I can say it, is to make sure that you have that.
One thing we didn't include, medical insurance. We spend about $200 a check in medical insurance. So that's about $400 a month. We have it through my job. So when we first got here, the girls had Medicaid, and we didn't have, we switched it because I realized very quickly that the job that I had was not enough money, and we needed to make some changes.
Yes.
We don't know what that was, but that doesn't sound good. Anyways, and so also consider medical insurance, because that comes out of your check before taxes.
Right.
and then the amount that will be taxed is after that.
After that.
But consider that, because you don't be thinking about that when you accept the offer.
Daddy, check this girl out again.
I'll get her.
Anyway, so guys, we do appreciate you tuning in. We hope that this video kind of gives you guys some perspective, some insight on the actual cost of living here. I mean, we have done it. We're doing it now, so we just wanted to kind of come give you guys some tips, some advice, you know, actual hard numbers that you guys can go on to help you with your relocation journey. So we definitely appreciate this. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys want more videos, subscribe. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share. Make sure you do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, just because it's good for our channel. But anyways, we do appreciate y'all. Peace out.
Freeze up. He died on the cross, so essentially freed us. And from the dust like Lazarus, I'm about to rise up. While we walking through life, we gotta pay attention to the signs.